We're going to move on to artificial intelligence now. Of course, this landmark summit is going on, and it's a question really of whether it's really just the stuff of science fiction or if it really has the ability of a machine to display human-like capabilities such as reasoning, learning, planning and creativity.
Elon Musk says it's going to kill all of us. There you are. That's IA. Rishi Sunak, though, he wouldn't use such words. He's hosting this summit. And this is, if I hear Bletchley Park and code breaking once more, but anyway, we get the idea. I'd like to know where Britain was always in the development of AI through the years. I'd like to know how and why and where and what support they did give the code breakers back in those days. Tech bosses and some world leaders will attend. Joe Biden, he's not there. Will that make much difference? You know, Joe Biden could be being run by AI at the moment.
That would be an improvement.
Wouldn't it? But anyway, other major European people are not expected either. I mean, we keep doing all that. There's lots of people there. Anyway, our deputy political editor, Tom Harwood, is one of them. Tom.
Summit, Global AI Safety Summit, hosted here in Bletchley Park in the United Kingdom. And the organisers say that of this first day, there were three main takeaways. Firstly, the extraordinary moment when we saw senior representatives from both the United States of America and the People's Republic of China standing together on a stage, singing from the same hymn sheet on AI safety regulation. That was an extraordinary moment that kicked off the day, and the spirit of cooperation we saw from the 28 major countries represented at this summit. Indeed, kicking off the first day was what was known as the Bletchley Declaration. These 28 countries, including, very, very crucially, the US, China, and that group of countries known as the EU, all signing up to the UK statement that crucially defines what's known as frontier AI, the problem which people are trying to control here at this inaugural summit. First, in order to get control of the problem or the perceived problem, it has to be defined. And that was one of the crucial takeaways from today. But thirdly, and perhaps most crucially, is that this is the inaugural AI Safety Summit. It's not the last. The next thing that was agreed was that the next two summits will take place in 6 months and 12 months' time. First in South Korea and next in France. Keeping up with the rapidly changing pace of this technology, the amount of compute that these extraordinary companies and their frontier level AI systems have is improving by 7 times year on year. That's not doubling, that's not doubling, that's 7 times improvement year on year. And so these summits are with increasing frequency now after this and keep up with the challenges. But what's coming today? That is a big question, perhaps the most seismic political element of the whole jamboree. We'll see the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and also we'll see the Prime Minister in a much more forward-facing role here in Bletchley. And we might well hear some more political agreements, perhaps even at the UN level. All of that is to come at another very busy 24 hours ahead for us here in Bletchley Park.
With that for us, and we will be speaking to
Was it Tom
Michelle.
Harwood, or was it a sort of projection?
AI version. Well, yeah, very energetic for this time of day, may I say. It could be. We've got Michelle Donlan. She's the government's Science, Innovation and Technology Secretary of State. She's coming on in around half an hour, so we'll be talking to her about what's being called the Bletchley Accord. And this is the big ambition of this landmark summit, that they can come out with a big agreement between nations, tech leaders and the like.
Tell us about the King.
Oh, yes, the King and AI is the headline for the Metro this morning. I thought it was a very natty little headline from them. He was beamed in from Kenya, no less, yesterday, really urging nations to work together so that AI is a force for good. So there's been lots of publicity about the people that aren't there. But actually, you know, Elon Musk, a big wig, and of course now the King getting involved.
So Elon Musk says, and listen up, folks, on this, he's the richest man in the world, right? He says he believes AI is one of the biggest threats to humanity and more dangerous than a nuclear bomb. Okay, that's what he thinks. So he's developed SpaceX, Tesla, X.
He was saying yesterday he thinks it's an 80% force for good, but has a 20% potential for serious harm. And he said it's just about trying to manage that
harm, where it will go wrong. You've only got to watch a James Bond film or something to see where it will go wrong. Because you get humans, flawed human beings, evil people, and there is evilness in the world.
Unfortunately.
Who will try and take advantage of it, and then the technology will turn on them, and then they'll end up dead like all Bond villains do.